Hi everybody, welcome. It's Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock, and you know what that means. It means it's time to roast alive in this country. We are not used to this, certainly up in the north, thank you. We're not used to this extreme, well, I call it extreme. I think if you lived in Australia, you'd call it very temperate. But it's 27 today, which is quite warm for us. Warm enough. I have a fan on me, so if you can hear a background noise, it's probably the fan. I'm really sorry. I'd like to turn it off for you, but I'd just melt and that would be the end of that. Right, I've got a few things to show you today. Well, first of all, let me show you what I did with the little watercolour that I did yesterday. I made it into a little notebook, backed it with some craft card, used Nancy's tiny attacher, which she kindly sent me, and stapled it on there, put some lace on the top. Little thing from, I'm pretty sure that's from My Porch Prints, and then just put some note paper inside. So I made use of it. I might just use it myself actually to make notes in. I'm always making notes in various assorted books, and then I never look at them. What's the point in writing things down? So if I keep this on my desk, maybe I will use it. So that was yesterday's, so don't dwell in the past. Right, I have been asked by a couple of people to make, well no, that's not true. I've been asked by one lady to make an inspiration journal, which is what I call my journals when I put, when I collate items into them rather than making pockets and tags and all that sort of stuff. I provide you with the things that I think would make nice ephemera within the journal, and those I call inspiration journals. And I've been asked by one lady to make a journal, an inspiration journal, but not a handbag journal like the ones we've been doing of late. Just a kind of regular journal, but filled with the stuff I'd put in an inspiration journal. And I happen to know that this lady likes Edith and all the sort of things that I like. I know what she likes. And the other lady who's asked me does want a handbag inspiration journal, and I happen to know that she too likes Edith. So I'm thinking there might be a bit of cross-contamination between these two journals I've been asked to make. I'd like to say thank you to both of the ladies. It's things like that keep the channel going, of course. And also to the people who have very kindly donated to the channel, either via Buy Me a Coffee or straightforward donations into PayPal. I'm very, very grateful, and it's no word of a lie that we couldn't do this without you. We genuinely couldn't. So thank you very much. So, right. Given that I was going to use Edith and stuff like Edith, I changed my mind on the ruffle, and I've gone for this one. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's Edith fabric from a curtain, but it is, I mean, look at it, it's real Edith. I'll just drape it over my hands like they do pieces of jewellery, because to me it's worth as much as a piece of jewellery. So that will go nicely on the Edith pages, I think. And the kit that I've opted to use, I have had this printed for a good couple of months, and I've been dying to use it. And so I think now is the time. It's from Liana Scrap. Let me write this down if I can find a bit of paper. Oh no, that's got flowers on it. That will never do. Can't waste things with flowers on. Let's write it on here so you can see it. Let's get a bold marker out. Liana Scraps on Etsy. Now she has I mean, you'll go down a rabbit hole when you go to her page. She's got so many gorgeous kits. Unfortunately, I was going to say, fortunately, I am now on the Liana Scrap design team. Yay! And she sent me a huge kit that she's got. It's called the Botanical Kit. And in that, I don't know how many other kits there are, but I I seem to remember it's got 16 kits in it, some of which you will have seen me use before because I used to buy from Liana Scrap regularly. But these pages came from this botanical kit, and in actual fact they came from, if you want to just buy a single kit, no reason why not, they came from plants and herbs, which if you're buying the big kit, the botanical kit, it's number 8. Okay, so there we are, that's where to get hold of that. Liana Scraps on Etsy, the huge kit. And you buy it and you think you never need to buy another kit again as long as you live, but you will, of course you will. And this particular one is called Plants and Herbs. So, there we go. It's worth going to Liana Scraps actually just for a look, because why not? Why not? So let me show you the kit and see what you think. I'll just go through it page by page. Look at that. I mean, it's journaling, but the very finest, isn't it? It's all textured and gorgeous. And that is very like that wildflower fabric that I've got. And it's like so near it's identical. And this one, a bit of journaling down there. Beautiful imagery though, isn't it? That one with journaling on. I really love this kit, and I'm thinking that anybody that loves Edith would like this kit. I'm hoping so anyway. Look at that. I think I've got every page, I've printed out every page in this kit. They're really pretty. But not grungy. I don't think they're grungy. You could grunge them up very, very easily. You could grunge them up, but I don't think as they stand they're grungy. Wildflowers of America. So you see there's plenty journaling to be had. And this is the last page of the kit. That's it on the back. So I'm sure you'll agree that's just, well, I hope you agree that that's just gorgeous. So that brings me on to the other pages that I'm going to include in the inspiration journals. And what's the matter? I want to go that way. Okay. Then I'm going to have to move that way. Then you'll only see half my head. Yes, I'm moving. I'm going.
Put it where you want it, and I'll move the camera.
That's it. My head's where I want it, I think. I'm all right. Yeah, so my big reveal of Edith has now been usurped by Mr. F trying to move me.
Do you want a roll call first?
No, I'm just going to do these Ediths and then we'll do a roll call. So these, with the other inspiration journals, what I've done is put the design sheet in and left it plain apart from the ruffle down the side, and then put a page of coffee stained paper in, which is the bit that I've attached all the nice stuff to. But I think for the nature journal I've been asked to make, I'm going to use the Liana Scrap as the design paper, and then instead of the coffee stain paper I'm going to use Edith. That just sounds lovely to me. So these are from the CD-ROM that I have, and I know quite a few people have now managed to get hold of that CD-ROM. So I've just sort of you get a page where there's about 6 images all the same on it. So I've just cropped it down to 1 image and sized it so one will go on that side and one will go there. They're not ideal, you miss bits off the top, etc., but they're so nice, they're fine. And that's another one. I'm sure you recognise these from our Edith. This one isn't Edith, this is a Lorna Taylor special. This is the PNG Secret Garden kit that Lorna's got, and I just literally put one on each side, and I mean they're so lovely and they fit in with everything, I think. Really nice. Another Edith page. Look at that one, that's a doozy. I love that one. This is the one from the cover of the Edwardian diary, and it never gets used because it's always shiny and a bit raggy because it's on the cover of the book, but it's on the CD-ROM, and so I can use it. So I have. And that foxgloves, well, you couldn't have a journal without it, could you really? And this one, I might have printed that twice. I love that. It's so delicate, but it's so lovely. And I printed them on cream. And that one, the irises and the gold crest, I think he is. I love the irises. And this one. So there we have it. We have all the pages. They just need to be put into some sort of order. And then I can start doing what I do. I did have a poppy left over and I couldn't leave it lying, so I made it into an envelope. It's lovely, isn't it? I love the poppies. Right, so that, I think that's all I've got to tell you about that. But as a consequence, I need to start making some things to include in these journals. So, Mr. F's been busy this morning. Where's the sheet that you've got them out from, please? And he's been busy with brushos, and this is what he did. He made this page, but as you can see, he's been cutting it on the die cut machine. And you won't believe how gorgeous they are when they're cut. Look at those. Just look at those. I mean, they're stunning. They're really, really gorgeous. I need a piece of white paper to show that off to its best. Look at that. And it came from this. I mean, if I'm honest, if I'm really, really honest with you, when it came through with this, I went, nice.
We all know that look.
Poor lad. I mean, honestly. And he said, I think if I cut some flowers out of that, it would look quite nice. And I went, So he went away, cut some flowers out, and I must be brutally honest, I was wrong, he was right. I absolutely love them. They're really, really gorgeous. Look at them. So pretty. So, thank you, Mr. F. They will definitely be going in the journals. I love them. Marvellous. So, actually, can I give you that back because the fan's going to blow them away. Thank you very much. So what I've been doing this morning is that, nothing. Is I've been playing with distress spray stains. I haven't got very many. This is all I've got. I've got vintage photo, picked raspberry and peeled paint. So I don't have a full gamut. Oh, did you see Tim last night on the live? Did you see what he was on with? He's got a new colour. Did you see what it was? It's called Prize Ribbon and it's blue. Blue. He spent about 25 minutes trying to convince me that I really did need another blue. And by the end of it, I was actually believing him. I was saying, well, yeah, I do actually need another blue. But it's very similar, I thought, to Blueprint, which is a gorgeous colour. I don't own it, but it's a really, really lovely, like almost like he was describing it as periwinkle, but I would describe it as a cornflower blue. It's really beautiful. And this Prize Ribbon, I think you could probably get away with it. You know, a blind man on a galloping horse would not know the difference between the two. That's what I would say. But I have neither, so maybe I need to buy one. Although, you know, to be honest, blue's not a colour I use that much. And if I do, it tends to be down the faded jeans route. So, no, I don't need it. So, those are my colours. I also threw a bit of old paper distress ink. Old paper is one of those colours that nobody can decide what colour it is. You know, is it brown? Is it green? What? Well, I can tell you, this is it. Here. And it's green, I would say. Do you reckon? Brown? Green? It's a brownie green. But I like it, and I think it's in keeping with all the things that we're doing. The picked raspberries probably a bit too strong, although I got that when I put what do you call that stuff? Resist spray. It looks like this, but it's a resist, and I think it's like PVA glue. It works like PVA glue, except you spray it, and then of course no ink will stick to it, and it's kind of textured a little bit. So then I put picked raspberry and vintage photo over that, and I think that's quite nice actually. I might emboss that, and I think that would make a nice inclusion in the book. So I made that with the old paper, and then I made these with the what's it called? Peeled paint, which is kind of one of my favourites. I do love peeled paint, and that one I just stamped that little stamp on, and just looks cute. I really like it. This one, however, you may notice has a different texture, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So all these spraying business, we have so I'm going to say we have a room out the back. We have a space out the back that is outside of the house, except you don't have to walk outside to get to it. But it sounds a bit mad, doesn't it? But it's, what could you call it?
It's an old coal bunker, really.
Yeah, it in its day when these houses were built, it was the coal bunker. And it's fairly sizable. It must have got through a fair bit of coal. But for years and years and years we have plastic coal bunkers, and they've all been scrubbed out and emulsioned and whatever. So it's outside, but it's not outside. And we keep our big chest freezer in it, and other assorted stuff. You can imagine, I'm sure. Paint, silk paint, loads of stuff. Household paints, decorating stuff, Christmas trees, stuff that you don't need every day of the week, but you don't want to chuck away. But the top of the chest freezer has actually become our kind of messy art studio. Because when you're spraying, it goes everywhere, and I don't want to do it here. I don't want it all over those nice pages that I've just printed out. So if I'm spraying, that's where I go. I go to the outdoor art studio. But because I'm sitting here now and I've got lots of things around me that I really do not want to spray, I'll be using I'll be trying my hardest not to get muck everywhere. That's what I'm saying to you. Right, so let's just see how I did these and other things. What? Roll call! Gosh, I forgot we hadn't had a roll call. Sorry, guys.
Stephanie!
Hiya, Stephanie. I believe you were first. Well done.
She wasn't, I don't think. This
Oh,
time. Carol!
well done. Hello, Carol.
Ros!
Hi, Roz.
Amanda!
Hello, Amanda. Hello, Jim.
Kyung!
Hi, Kyung.
Terry!
Hi, Kerry.
Jen!
Was that Kerry or Jen? Or Carrie? Or Kerry or Kerry?
Terry!
Terry. Oh, hello, Terry.
Jen!
Hello, Jen.
Janya!
Hello, Janya.
Carrie!
Hiya, Kerry.
Andrea!
Hello, Andrea.
Leslie!
Oh, Leslie, do a video. Yeah, do a video.
Deborah!
Hi, Deborah.
Benice!
Hello, Benice.
Erin!
Hi, Erin.
Gonnie!
Hi, Gonnie.
Sean!
Hello, Sean.
From Boylan, Wales.
Yeah.
Judy!
Hello, Judy.
From Magnolia.
From Magnolia, Texas.
Julie has popped up.
Julie who?
Julie that we've forgotten about because she hasn't been on for a month, Camellia.
Julie Camellia? Well, hello. I bet you're boiling. I'm boiling.
And Suzanne Sears.
Hello, Suzanne.
That's it, I think.
Okay.
Unless I missed you.
Well, that's possible. Shout out if he has. Because, right, let's do the first one where we get that sort of, and I'm sure you all know how to do it, but we're just going to have a little play. So out comes the glass mat. And I am, just for the sake of safety, I'm going to put all these lovely pages away because They're just too nice, aren't they, too?
Julia says she hasn't seen the peeled paint green. Is it dark, light or medium?
Peeled paint. It's this. So it's...
Which is a bit darker than it looks on the screen.
Yeah, it's slightly darker than it looks on the screen. It's kind of like an olive colour. I know he's got a colour called crushed olive. I've never had it, so I can't say. But that looks olivey to me. I quite like it, actually. But I love all those chartreuse kind of colours. Right, so the first thing to do is get some paper. So I've got some. It's a bit scabby, but we're only practising, so...
Leslie says, "Oh Fiona, you read that? I'll certainly try."
I did. There's not much gets past me, Leslie. Well, not that I know about, but then I wouldn't know. Right, so I'm going to use this peeled paint. No, I'm not, because we know what happens to it. I'm going to use picked raspberry. I'm going to give it a bit of a shake, hanging onto the lid, as I do, because I don't want it everywhere. And I'm just going to put this up as a bit of a foil to stop it going everywhere. So it's just a little bit. See how much comes off? See, that would have been everywhere around the place. Just use a bit of kitchen towel there. Right, oh, it's even sprayed onto here. Never mind. Right, so what I'm going to do is add some water to that, because it's quite concentrated. Those spray stains really are concentrated, actually. They really are. And I'm just going to get a tool, which happens to be one of these bone folder things, and just mix that up a bit. I'm just going to clean my thing, and then I'm just going to dip. And this, I think, is mixed media paper, and you will get different results on mixed media paper to watercolour paper, and there are different kinds of watercolour paper, hot press, cold press, blah blah blah. You'll get a different result with each and every single one of them, so don't think you've done it and you, oh, it doesn't work for me. No, it could well be the paper or whatever. So in between each dipping you need to dry, otherwise it'll just all end up one layer. Doesn't take long to dry with this little gun. It's a fabulous little thing, and made for days that are really hot. Yeah, I think it's about dry. Doesn't take long. And then I'm going dipping again. See if I can get some of that middle section. You might not want to cover it all, and that's fine. I quite like them when they're not covering everything. Yeah, that's quite nice. It's also very bright. I think it's going to be too bright for our journal, but this is how you learn. Just mess around and play. So I'm just going to dry this off all the way, and then the only oxide I've got, to my knowledge, is speckled egg, which is that gorgeous, some foreign body in there that I just could live without. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, speckled egg is the only oxide I've got, but I'll give it a try and see what happens. Because the oxide is opaque, it will cover this. And that maybe that would be an interesting mix. And if you've got other colours in the oxide, then you can try them. Let's just have a look what I've got. Come over here and let me see. I'm just going to dry this up. I might want it for something else, but it's going to get in my way. Right, let's see. Weathered wood, frayed burlap. These are all inks. spiced marmalade, Victorian velvet, one of my faves, fired brick, also ink, antique linen, dried marigold, tumbled glass, bundled sage, wild honey, all inks, tattered rose, another one of my favourites, antique linen, another one of my all-time favourites, faded jeans, it's black suit though. I'll lay it out, you never know. A new faded jeans, tea stain, peacock feathers, speckled egg, that's an oxide, speckled egg ink, sponge sugar ink, pumice stone ink, walnut stain ink, ooh, fossilised amber oxide. Ooh, now I'm excited. These VersaFine Clairs, worn lipstick ink, let's put all those down there, weathered wood ink, tea dye ink, coming to the end, and that last one is VersaFine Clair in pinecone. See if any of these are oxides. These are ones that Mr. F got from a car boot or something somewhere, and they're not actually all what they say they are, which makes for a bit of interesting stamping sometimes. Oh, there's crushed olive. Oh, I'll leave Olive out and see what we make of her. See how she compares. Black soot, evergreen bough, I like that. And that's it, candied apple. Oh, there's one there, what's that one? Oh, it's an ink, tumbled glass. Okay, so those are all the oxides that I have to my name. And that's cleaned the drawer up, hasn't it? It's done double duty. Shall I try the fossilised amber? Why not? Let's just go for it. So just stamp it down onto your board. I don't want masses, so, and then get your water. Just going to lift this out of the way. There we go. Just going to give that little bit there a bit of a mix up. Let's just do it. Let's not be afraid. Says she, very tentatively dipping. Ooh. That's quite interesting, isn't it? Actually, it is. I'm just going to do that. Yeah, I like that. I mean, it's just interesting. Don't know when or if I would ever use it, but it's activating with pink now. So getting some sort of. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to waste that. Where's my watercolour book? This, for those of you that are interested, is Bockingford hot press, 300 GSM or £140. And sometimes you get better results with the hot press. Means it's been through a hot press, so it's really nice and smooth. But you also get watercolour paper called Not. It's just N-O-T, Not. And what it stands for is not hot pressed. So it's kind of bumpy. And actually I like that texture better. But this book also came from, I think this was a car boot actually. So, you know, you can't grumble, can you? There's not room up there to get my trimmer, so I'll just cut it boldly. Like that. I'm just going to soak up all of this that's left because it's just too nice to leave behind. There we go. So there's not much of it, but it's quite nice. And I'll get my... That's just... I was just throwing that on the floor. Right, what I'm going to do now is play with the speckled egg. You do appreciate here, girls, I'm just playing. Is Mike on? He didn't say Mike. He's getting ready for his trip tomorrow, I think, so he's probably not on. I'm just going to dry this off, otherwise we're going to get contamination between everything. It's looking interesting though, isn't it? And if you've got more colours than me, and you probably have of oxides, then you'll be able to play more. Yeah, that's looking nice. So let's just go for that bit. Go, go, go. Oh, look, it is messing with the colours. That's okay. Oh, it's...
Shin says he's there, he's making breakfast.
Ah, good old Mike. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. It's all sort of mixing it. I don't dislike it particularly, but it's not... I'll show you in a minute. Just going to get this on my remaining piece of card.
Kyung says it looks like a galaxy, the Fiona Nebula.
Who's that?
Kyung.
Kyung. This is coming out muddy now. It's all mixed up together and it's coming out muddy. But it's a nice colour mud. I like it.
I don't know whether she's inferring you're the size of a nebula.
I can take it. I can take it today. I'm all right today.
Mm.
Hit me with it. Whatever it is you want to say. So I'll just dry that off and I'm going to call that done. The only other oxide... Ooh, did I use so fast? Yeah, I did, didn't I? Yeah. The only other oxide I've got is black. I think that might be a bit much. Or should I do it around the outsides? Well, why not? I mean, what exactly have we got to lose? If you gessoed your paper first, you get a really different look as well. Because that takes up paint and ink very differently. Right, okay. So let's have a look at this then. There you go. I quite like it. I don't dislike it. And I think if you were cutting flowers out of it, it would look fantastic, actually. But I'm just going to go in with the black because I don't know when to stop. I don't need much of it.
Kyung says, oh no, pretty like a galaxy, isn't she?
That's very grey.
Nothing at all like the Crumb Nebula.
Oh, actually, I think I might quite like this. You have to learn when to stop, and I obviously haven't learnt that yet. But this, I'm liking this, so I'm alright. It's that thing when you darken the edge, it brightens the middle. Might have managed to do that actually. Yeah, there we are. Right, okay, that's me finished messing with that piece. You may never see that again, or then again you might see it with some flowers cut out of it. But I actually do like the dark. It's really highlighted the middle bit. Okay, so that's that. Another piece of card, please.
Kyung says it makes the middle pop.
Yeah, it does actually. It's that very mixed media thing, isn't it? Of
Julie loves it.
does she?
And Jen likes it.
Yeah.
And Janya really likes it.
Wow, thanks, ladies. You're so encouraging, you lot. I bet you're sitting there thinking, what is she doing? But you're not saying it to my face, so I'm all right. Right, I'm going to use this, I don't know where the lid's gone off this one. I'll use the one off the picked raspberry just to hold on it while I shake it a little bit. Because I have just decorated with Edith Holden, as you know, and I don't want picked raspberry or whatever everywhere. Right, what I'm going to do this time is actually, ooh, no, yes. I'm going to spray it onto the, I'm going to have to get my temporary shield in place. I'm going to spray this onto here. quite a lot. That'll do, I think. Look at that. That would have been all everywhere. Oh, yeah, let's just... So what I'm going to do now is add some water and get this to move around. Should have put that onto my waist bit, shouldn't I? Silly woman. There used to be a programme here, I mean, so many years ago that it's like even in my outer reaches of my memory, and it was called, do you remember it with Alf Garnett? What was it called? Blimey, I can't remember. It was kind of my parents' generation, except my mother didn't like it because it was rude. And my mother didn't like anything that was verging on being rude. But the guy, the man, he referred to his wife constantly as the silly old moo.
Till death do us part.
Till death do us part, that's it. And so, yeah, I can feel that I am being a bit of a silly old moo. So I'm just adding water to this. I'm just going to let it do its thing. So this is the peeled paint. I'm going to add quite a bit of water. Look at that loveliness. We're having an arty weekend this weekend, aren't we, girls? Watercolouring yesterday.
Sean says till death do us part.
Ah, thanks, Sean. Yeah, do you remember the silly old moo? He used to always refer to her as you silly old moo. Right, I think I might have enough water on there to do the technique that I want to do. This is a very strange colour, this peeled paint. It splits out into a brown. Or as Tim would say, it wicks out. Wicks out. I think it splits. Right, so what I'm going to do now is something that if you haven't done recently, you will have done at school. And I'm just going to get some salt crystals. This is dishwasher salt. We don't have a dishwasher. Mr. F does all the dishes. And I'm just going to sprinkle it on there. Like that. And just leave it. Just leave it. And what happens is that the salt sucks up all the colour. And so where it leaves behind is faded. Now with this peeled paint you get a funny colour left behind, like a browny colour. So I want to try it with a picked raspberry as well and see what happens with that. So I'm just going to leave that until it kind of does its thing. It might be a bit... Do you want a bit of kitchen towel to carry it on? There you go. Thanks very much. Right, so yeah, the next one I'm going to do, I'll use the reverse of this one. Although, you know what? I really like that. It's gorge, actually. I might just work on that for a minute or two. And I'm going to go back into the speckled egg distress. Put some water on that. Yeah, distress oxide. And I'm just going to dunk it. I don't want to activate all the inks and everything. Ooh, it's so nice.
Connie would like to know what happens if you spray the paper with water first and then...
It's coming. It's coming, my dear. That might be my next trick. Not that any of this is tricks and they're not working very well either. Oh, I like that. It's kind of all muddy together, but because that speckled egg is so light, it's keeping it all light. It's really quite nice, that one. I think cutting things out of there would be lovely. Right, I'll just leave that there and I'll get myself some more paper. Blimey, whistling through the paper. But you still
Looks like a Japanese maple on a foggy day.
Yeah, it does. Very good. You pass your sight test. What can you see in this shape? Right, I'm sure I didn't use all of that last sheet. No, I didn't. It's lying here, I think.
Julie likes that one because she's fonder of the pastel colours.
Yeah, I like pastels too, Julie, to be honest with you. But sometimes, as you know, when you're doing lives, you've got to kind of...
Ramp the colour up.
Yeah, ramp it up. Ramp it up. Julie's got some gorgeous free download on her Buy Me a Coffee site. If you go over to Julie's Buy Me a Coffee, Camellia Craft Designs, you don't have to buy her a coffee to get the free digital, although it would be nice if you did. And they're really pretty. She's done them before. These ones are really, really, in my mind, really useful ones. So pop over there when this is finished, not before. Right, let's do what, who was it? Connie? Gonnie, sorry, suggested. Now I've got another tool here, here it is. You've seen me use these before, I know you have, these brushos. And they come in little pots like these. These are as old as the hills, they really are. They must be 10 or 14 years old. I know the hills are older than that. But they come in a wide variety of colours, but the interesting thing about them is they're a powder, and when they split on contact with water, they split into all sorts of different colours that you wouldn't think would be in the original colour. So I've got lots here. Some are duplicated, what have you. Gamboge. Still can't remember what colour that is. It might be a yellow. Lovely. Orangeade. So let's sort out a piece of paper. Let's use a big piece, shall we? Ah, I found the doodles, thank you. God, where have they been? They're boiling. I'm going for a big piece because it's that sort of. What's that? I lost my scissors. The main problem is that I haven't cleaned up since yesterday, so I've still got all my watercolours out on my desk. Right, so here is a piece of watercolour paper which I'm now going to spray with just ordinary plain water. I'll move my flecks out the way. So give it a good spray. I'm just going to dampen the back of it just to try and keep it down. See if that'll stay straight. It's a good idea when you're using brushos actually to mask your piece of paper down to the... In fact, I might do that, because otherwise it just moves and then all your things move where you don't want them to. My nails, my hands, everything's filthy because I've been playing with spray paints. I don't know if this sticks in the wet, probably not. I don't think I've ever asked it to stick in the wet before. That's better. Otherwise it just reacts to the water and it bows upwards, which knocks all your colour off the sides, and you might not want it off the sides. Right, okay, so let's just get this dry pieces appearing here. So you want that card pretty sodden. So let's select some colours. What shall we select? Let's go with these ones here and see what's in here. No, I'm not seeing anything I fancy in there. emerald green, turquoise. Turquoise. Purple, violet. 2 turquoises. I was looking for lime green. Any lime green in there? There is a lime green. I don't know. Where did it? Oh, maybe it's in this little box. Yeah, here we are, lime green. Okay, right. Let me just move those back onto back onto where they live. Right. Be careful at this stage. Right. This says lime green, and this is the colour of what's inside. I have no idea whether the lid's been moved around or whether it is actually lime green. I don't know. Could you just put the fan off for a minute, please, because it's going to blow my brush all around.
I'll just turn it towards me.
Turn it towards you, that's a good idea. Right, so I've just got this little spatula thing. Anything will do, painter's knife, anything at all that you've got. And honestly, pick up the smallest amount. It's like you're weighing out drugs, okay? I've never weighed out drugs.
Yes, you have. It was your job.
I meant recreational drugs. So you can see, look, when you put that in there, see what happens. It blooms. Can you come in? Look, will it come in? Yeah, that's great. So when you drop a tiny little bit, it blooms. And these are really safe paints. They use these in schools. Made in Sheffield, Julie. Julie is a proud Yorkshire girl. And why not? See, that's dry, so it hasn't bloomed. So that's possibly all the lime green that I want, I think. But you can see how it's split out into this turquoise colour and this yellow colour. It's amazing. I love it. This, where it's drier, isn't splitting out so much. So I shall select myself another colour. What's up?
It's quite bright. I don't know why it's so bright. It must be because it's wet.
Yeah, you'll be getting some glare off it, I imagine. Right, so let's see what else I've got that I can add. I've got leaf green. I don't know what leaf green is. Let's give that a go, shall we?
Lights off and see what it looks like, shall we?
Dark. So I'm just going to go in with this leaf green whilst Mr. F goes switching things on and off. See what it's like. Is it any different to the...
You might need to spritz it. It's probably gone dry by now.
Yeah, it's still got a nice bloom, a nice bit of water on it, so we'll see. Might have to spritz it at the end. Ooh, that was a lot. You really, really, really only need grains of this stuff. So that green is a bit similar to the lime green. And as Mr. F says, it's just drying out a bit, so I'll just... Look at that. Look at the colours you get from it. It's not a single colour, it's amazing. What colour shall we add now, guys? How about, I want that violet. Violet, that's what I want. Really be careful with these. Some people put a hole in the top so as you can shake it like a pepper pot, and that actually is probably not a bad idea. Just wipe off that colour from before. Let's go with the violet, see what happens. Ooh, yes. Oh, it's so lovely. That's probably enough violet. Violet's in Oxford this weekend. I hope she's having a really good time. Huge supporter of our page. And she's... Sorry, I was just listening to Mr. F, who's telling me not to overwet. It's directing and producing. Double duty today.
And I'll pay for it later.
So I'm just going in with, just going to wick up some of this where I've gone a bit balmy. Because I want to go in with something like pink or something, I think that's alright. I think we're doing alright. Might be a bit on the wet side there. Right, yeah, pink. I want pink. Vermilion. Scarlet. Vermilion or scarlet. Brilliant red. I've got 3 there in a row. I think they're trying to tell me something.
Red, scarlet.
Yeah, I've got scarlet.
Ost red.
What's Ost red? I don't know. No, I'm going for brilliant red. This could be the end of it.
Rose
looking
red.
nice. Rose.
Rose red.
Oh yeah, I love rose. Thank you. Ooh, that's a lot. Just a tiny, teeny bit. You've seen the effect of it. That's enough for 30 paintings. This is a different sort of texture to the others. I don't know.
Use the other end. You wouldn't be able to pick so much up.
It's full of it today. Use the different end, so she uses the same end. This has got I don't know, it's kind of sticking together more. It's clumpier, that's the word. It's clumpier. Very good descriptive word. And there's masses coming off in one go. Let's stick some water on that and see what happens. Always put your lids straight back on, guys. Really, you need to, because if you spilt that on your carpet and you went to add water to it to clean it up, it would be a disaster. I don't know why I'm laughing, because it would actually be a disaster. Oh, look at that colour. Right, I've probably got sufficient colour on here now to dry it and cut some flowers out with it. Maybe a bit of yellow. Do you think a bit of yellow? I think a bit of yellow. So you can play till your heart's content with these. I have no idea how much they are. They used to be very cheap, as I say. The primary school kids used to use them. But like everything, I guess they've gone. I've got lemon, but that's not really what I want. Oh, I've got yellow. Oh, thank you. And this is going to be my last colour. And that looks to me the same as the colour that we had for leaf green. So that'll be interesting. So I'm just kind of trying to fill in any holes that there are, really. Then I'm going to dry it and cut some flowers out and see what happens. I'm concentrating, that's why I'm not speaking. Mr. F's thinking, oh, I need to get her concentrating more. Just a little bit in that corner and I'm done. Yeah. That's that. Right, let's wipe that off. Oh no, I haven't got any in the middle. That'll never do. I'd be in trouble if I was having one of those days where I shake a lot. Right, I'm adding too much now. Just going bonkers. Right, that's me finished with that. I'm just going to wet that last orange that I put on. Goes all the way in the box. Give that some of that orange a bit of a wet down. Lovely. Well, it's sort of lovely. It's lovely in a weird sort of way. get round there done, and I'm going to dry this. And in the intervening period, let's have a look at what the salt did. I'll tell you what, I'm going to roll this over just for the sake of getting it dry quickly. Yeah, that's taken an awful lot of that high colour out of it. That's a lot better now, I think. Nice though. Right, okay. Ooh, it's got nice. Dry it. That's nice now, isn't it, with a lot of the colour out? It won't be long. Well, it might be. I think the time's come to move it off there. Hang fire. Have any of you got brush hose? You got brush hose, Julie? You could go to the factory shop. Yeah, made by Colourcraft. Been on the go a long time, I think, Colourcraft. We saw them at shows, art shows years ago, didn't we? Oh, I've got the jazzy, the jazziest kitchen towel in town. Yeah, I'm glad I mopped up all the top colour. It's left a much more manageable colour now, I think you'd agree. It's kind of saturated a bit. Right, I can read what you're saying. I lack the patience, I'd throw them all on at once. No, you wouldn't. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. It's Brusho. B-R-U-S-H-O. Brusho. Yeah, how is it spelled? B-R... Whoa, there we are. There we are.
555 Colorado Street, East Sheffield.
Brusho crystal colours. I'm pretty sure that other companies do them. I'm sure, is it Cosmic Shimmer does them, calls them Pixie Dust or something like that?
Yeah.
But the original and best is this. I'm keeping quite clean really, aren't I? Considering all the mess. It's quite amazing. I have got my t-shirt on that has already got acrylic paint on it, because I did figure I might be getting a bit on the messy side. You're right about that violet, Mr. F. There's mica in it.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Mm. Right, that's pretty dry. So what I'm going to do now is ask the producer director if he would cut me some flowers out of there. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's dry. It's dry.
Producer director, you just had to butter me up, aren't you?
No.
You mean the lackey?
I was trying to be sarcastic actually, but it didn't work.
No, you know that doesn't work.
No, just 2 flowers, one going that way, one going that would be fine, thanks.
And the sarcasm shield.
You've got your sarcasm shield raised.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right, so this is the one that we did, and we sprinkled salt on it. Let me just get a piece of kitchen towel off before I get salt everywhere.
Any particular flowers or just flowers in general?
Yeah, any of the Tim Holtz strawberries, just 2, please.
2 flowers.
Yeah, just to show.
Make them big then, eh?
So, look what's happened here. Can you see it? It's gone all sort of cellular. So I've got a brush here. It's an old brush, and I don't care about it. And I'm just going to wipe that salt off, and then we'll have a look at it and we'll see what we think. And if it's a technique that you might want to play with a little bit. There we go. Oh, look at that. Man, that's weird. It's kind of lovely, isn't it? Shall I do a picked raspberry one, or have you had enough? Have you had enough? Tell me if you have, and I'll shut up and go away. I'm just going to put that salt into the bin. Let's do one picked raspberry one. I want to. Right. What did I do? I sprayed it, then I wet it, then I put the salt on. Right, I'm going in for the shield. Nick the lid. Right, give it a bit of a shake. They don't really need shaking, these dye ones, but I think it never does any harm, does it? Right, it's probably sufficient. I'll just leave my shield in place whilst I spray the water. Get that to move around a bit. Okay, clean that off. These boards are just brilliant. I got them from Poundland, which is now closed, which is a shame. And nothing sticks to them. I could take that to the sink now and wash it off and it would come back absolutely brand new again. So I'm glad I got 4 while they were still open. Just going to mop that up from round the sides. That's quite nice. That looks okay to me. Quite like it. Just going to spritz on the back. Get it to go a bit flatter. Come on, go flat. You know you want to go flat. Right, so I'm back to the dishwasher crystals again, which were bought exclusively for this purpose. And I'm just going to put them on. I put quite a few on the last one, so I'm going to do the same. There it is, it's straightening out now. If you ever get that problem, just, you know, that it's buckling, just spray the back with water and it'll soon straighten out. I'm going to put quite a lot there because there's quite a lot of ink. I want to see what happens. Right, okay. I don't know if you can, I don't think you can dry this with heat because you have to allow the time for the crystals to suck the ink in. So I think that it wouldn't work if you force dried it. So I shall just leave it in the window, is probably the best place actually. And oh, look at my hands, man, they're filthy. Let's give my hands a bit of a clean. Ooh, ooh, there, Jessie. I'll just dry my hands and then I'll wash them first and then I'll dry them. And I'll show you what Mr. F's done. He's such a good lad. Some of this is ingrained now from this morning, so it's probably going to take till tomorrow to actually come off in its entirety. You could use gloves if you're if you really don't like getting your hands dirty. I'm like that with meat. I can't bear to touch meat. Yeah, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. I'm not a vegetarian, I hasten to add, but well, having said that, I don't eat that much meat. Right, so we'll leave that to dry. Yes, I want to show you what Mr. F has done. Let me get them arranged on this bit of white card so you can see them to their best. Wow, that's a fancy one. That's fancy. Keon doesn't say it with that expression, but she kind of she talks about things being fancy and it amuses me. Right, so here we are. Here's our fancy die cuts. Look at that one. Oh, I'm going to show you them individually because they're really, really nice. Oops, come back. So this was the bit of paper that we brochured on. Let's just go a little bit there. That's it. So there, that's that one. I shall bring it up to you to show you. It's gorgeous, isn't it? I mean, all that really bright about it, it's gone. It's just really, really pretty. Could you put this in the window or somewhere by the fan or somewhere to dry? Thank you, my love. Here's this one. This one might be a little bit bright. But you can always go over it with just a touch of gesso or white acrylic or something if you wanted to. That one. I mean, these are going to look gorgeous in anybody's journal, I would have thought. And that one. I love that one. It's like a cornflower, isn't it? It's really nice. Right, so we have achieved that then, if nothing else, today. And we've had fun. And I'm just waiting for that bit of thingy, salt crystal malarkey. So, getting back to where we started, except we now have this one as well. And we've got this one, which isn't going to fit in with this journal this time round. But I don't think I'm going to throw that away, because I think I could find use for that somewhere. It's kind of pretty, isn't it? This one, yeah, if you were doing a boho journal, that would fit in. It definitely would. You know, if you put a big sort of stamp across there, it would look, it could potentially look quite good. This one, yeah, I don't know. I think you could find a use. It would make a nice pocket or a tag. This one, I don't know, does that need embossing? Would that look better embossed? That one would. Could I ask you to please to emboss a couple of these and let's see what we've got? Thank you very much.
Any particular pattern?
No, any at all. Anything at
Same
all.
on both.
Same on both will be fine. So let's have a look at this one. This is the weathered wood one. No, not weathered wood. This was old paper, which has come out this kind of, well, it's green. It's definitely green, but it's got a very browny cast to it. And this is the crushed olive that we never got around to using yet. Alright, okay, let's just see what it's like on the edge. You shouldn't use your ink pads like this, guys. I don't know, it's just a darker shade to that, I think. Let's just get some water and pull it out a bit. See what happens. Yeah, it's a kind of yellowy. That's the colour of crushed olive, for those of you who wanted to know. Kind of a weird one. Yeah, okay. Maybe in its place, eh? It would look alright in its place. But I don't think its place is here, so I'm going to chop that off. But you've got to experiment, haven't you? You've got to try, or you really do not know. So let's just chop that bit off. That tiny little bit up there. This rate, I'm going to be with no card at all. So what I was thinking I would do is do that first, second, third generation stamping thing. I really like those flowers. Maybe a tad bright could do with being muted a bit, but a bit of gesso will work wonders. And then I'm going to use Tim Holt's wildflower stamp. Oh, they're pretty. Look at them when they're embossed. How pretty they are. Wow, a bit of embossing works wonders. Oh, I mean, that would definitely find its way into an Edith journal. Without a doubt. That's gorgeous. I really, really like it. So yeah, that, out of all the things we've done today, we've got one. And that's actually quite nice too. You see it? Very nice. Bit of embossing can work wonders. But in the interim, we're going to do a bit of stamping. So I want some, yeah, that's probably too big. Let's see what else I've got. That's too big as well, isn't it? I've got the large size Tim Holtz wildflower stamps, and I've also got the small size. And the small size are kind of much more useful, really, to be honest. So I'll get a few of those out. Right, let's pop these on the chopping block. Oh, I could use the crushed olive to stamp. That might look quite nice. Or I could use the old paper. See if it stands out. I don't know. What am I talking about? Who knows? Talking rubbish. Talking, happy talk. Or I could just use the grey. Or I could use peeled paint. Have I got peeled paint? Did I mention peeled paint? No. I've found 2 more distress oxides, abandoned coral and lucky clover. So those of you that were paying attention. I've got this one, the Versifying Clare and Verdant. I'm going to give that a go. What is there to lose, really? Okay, come off. Ooh, I hope it's not quite that verdant. I'm just going to get myself out a piece of kitchen towel for stamping off onto. Right, so the first one is going to be a full strength. Oh my life, that is one juicy ink pad. Oh, it's all right though. Oh, look at that, it's okay. Right, I'll just wipe that over for the time being. Pop it there. Right, so this is another one of the smaller ones. Feel a bit more confident now, because when I looked at that, I mean, blimey, come on. I think I was very brave. So I just want to stamp off the sort of first generation there, like that, and then go in. Let's pop that onto there, otherwise I'm going to get ink everywhere. And just go in and stamp second and third generation stamps. Like that. You've seen me do this before, I'm pretty sure you have. You're probably so bored you've fallen asleep. Wakey, wakey! Let's do it on there. Let's be sensible about such things. I just want the top of that on there. So let's just put that there. That's a sensible way of going about it. And I'm running out of ink the more I'm stamping, obviously. I think I could probably get away with that one again though. So after all this, I think we will have maybe 3 journaling cards, possibly. But you know, we've had fun. Can't always be about being sensible, can it? It just can't. There we go. And just want another one if I can find another one. Here we go. Is that a big one or a little one? It might be a big one actually. Ah, there's a little one. They're all in the box waiting to be washed if you're wondering why I'm ferreting around a box. There's another one. Yeah, that'll do us. Let's do this whatever it is first. must say, actually, I mean, I love archival ink and I use it a lot, but I do love VersaFine Clair. I really, really do. It's an exceptional ink in my estimations. Put one down there. Yeah, this is building up to be quite nice, I think. So I'll pop that on there. Isn't this green, this verdant? It's right up my street, I can tell you. Won't it be great when we've got Jean back? I miss Jean. You could always depend on Jean for coming up with what shouldn't be said. Have I stamped that off once? I can't remember. I really hope that the situation with her and Homer improves. I think that's fine. I think that's all we need. Improves and she can soon join us again, because she is a huge, huge miss. Right, so pop the lid on that. I actually just want to go around the outside with a bit of that, but I need to find a dauber of some description. It's got speckled egg on it. Yeah, I want to use this, which is not the colour that you would use for distressing normally, but I think it'll just finish it off nicely. That's the plan. So you watched me all afternoon or all morning or whatever it is, and pretty much all we've done is play. There we go. That I like. Finally, we've got one I like. Okay, so what have we done? We've looked at the papers from Liana Scrap that we're going to be using for the journal. We have, let me have a drink, please. Yeah, I'm still waiting on the picked raspberry to dry. Yeah, we looked at that and where I'd bought them from and blah, blah. We looked at the Edith Holden ones that I'd printed out that I'm going to include in the journal. Then we started messing around with, and I showed you the new ruffle that I've made for the journal. Then we started messing around with inks and whatever. I showed you what I'd done with yesterday's watercolour. These are what we sort of have. We've got that, which was the mop-up one, which actually has turned out quite successfully. We've got this one, which is embossed and is actually really pretty. This one, which I love it. This one, yeah, that will probably go in the bin. I might shove it in the boho drawer, you never know, it might get used on one of these days. This one was the peeled paint with the salt granules on it, which I think actually turned out really successfully. It's just different, isn't it? These ones which I'd done before you joined me, which were just spraying onto the paper, that was salt granules as well. Spraying onto the paper and dipping it up and doing various things. We cut out some flowers from the Brusho piece, which are a bit bright, but they'll soon get toned down. And then we did this, which actually worked. Something worked. And here comes Mr. F with the picked raspberry. I'll do that if you like. Or I can just sit here. Just needs a little bit of drying, and as I say, I don't think force drying is the best way to do this. You're not going to see the best of the cells that it would create. But we'll see what happens. And if you get a paper that, you know, if you've done something in it, you really think you've gone wrong, just cut a flower out of it. Because sometimes you'll really surprise yourself. Before you consign it to the bin, just cut something out of it. You know, it could be a tab, it could be a flower, it could be anything, but just give it one last chance before you consign it to the bin. I think that's as dry as I can wait for it. I'm running out of patience now. Well, you can see, and I think if we'd given it longer, it would have been even more pronounced. Whoa, there's salt flying everywhere. So, right. There we go. So that's that one. That's the picked raspberry one with the spray, then water, then salt granules put down on it. And I think you can see it's actually quite interesting, isn't it? It looks like lots of little flowers in a garden to me. Does it to you? Maybe not. Maybe I'm just flower mad. So that's pretty much all I can tell you. Through the week I will be proceeding with the journal and making things that, you know, I do want to put in it. This was just, it was always just going to be a play day. Wow, look at the ink on there. Let's get that off before it discolours everything it comes into contact with. And that. It's very oily, that Versafine colour. Right, okay, I think I've put you through quite enough today. I'm really grateful to you for joining me, as ever. Honestly, what would I do without you? I'd just sit here tormenting Mr. F, I suppose. So I shall see you through the week, where it'll be videos that I'll be putting up, trying to put this, the journal, the Edith Holden journal, Edith Holden and Friends journal, it's not exclusively Edith, together, and we'll see how we get on with that. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a lovely rest of your day. I'm going to lie in front of the fan and try and cool down a little bit, and I'll see you soon. Behave yourselves. Bye now.
Bye. I'll see you in the week. I'll pop up and do a live. Promise.
Ooh.
Backed by special request and all that.
Ooh.
See you soon. Take care. Be safe. Be happy.
Bye.
Bye.